You ever look at someone and feel like there's a whole world behind their eyes? A story nobody told, a fire nobody touched, a heart that's been broken but still be strong? That's her. She's been through storms most people can't imagine, and every scar she carries is a lesson in survival. But here's the thing, what you see on the surface, the smile, the charm, the confidence, it's only a fraction of who she really is. Behind it all lies a truth most people overlook. She's not just surviving. She's learning how to love again, cautiously, carefully, and only for those who are willing to see her whole. So before you rush in, before you judge, slow down, pay attention. Because the woman standing before you has a depth most hearts never get to touch. You ever notice how the eyes tell on people long before they mouths do? You can dress up the words, rehearse your tone, smile the right way, but your eyes, they never learn how to lie. That's why when you talk to a woman and her eyes can't stay still, something inside you knows. It's not always guilt, not always game. It's protection. Her gaze keeps moving because she's learned the hard way that looking too deep into someone's soul can cost her pieces of her own. You ask her a question, she glances away, not because she's hiding, but because she's already seen too much. A woman's eyes used to be open windows when she believed love was safe. But when she's been through too many promises that started sweet and ended sour, those windows become mirrors. You look into them and see your own reflection instead of her truth. She's still there, but she's behind glass now, checking to see if you're just another storm about to break her foundation. Every man she trusted before left a fingerprint in her memory, a ghost in her stare. So when she looks past you, it's not disrespect, it's defense. She's scanning the room, checking the vibe, making sure the ground under her feet isn't shaking again. You might take it personal, think she's cold or detached, but it's not that. It's that she's tired of being the open book that everyone reads and no one finishes. Her eyes don't stay still because she's learned not to stay still emotionally. She keeps moving, keeps flowing like water that's been spilled too many times. It doesn't know how to stay in one place anymore. Every time she got too comfortable, she got hurt. So now she moves like survival, like awareness, like wisdom wrapped in silence. You'll see it when she smiles too. The kind of smile that looks alive but doesn't light up her eyes. That's not fake, it's habit. It's how people learn to hide pain in plain sight. She laughs at your jokes, nods while you talk, but her gaze keeps drifting. She's present, but not all the way, because deep down, she's still waiting to see if you're another mistake she'll have to unlearn later. You got to understand, when someone's been through too much, they learn to read before they listen. She's not just hearing your words, she's studying your tone, your pauses, your silence. Her eyes move because they're searching for truth in a world that's fed her too many lies. And that's not something you judge, it's something you respect. Because to live through that kind of heartbreak and still show up, still try to connect, still offer even a fraction of trust, that's courage. That's strength most people don't recognize because they're too busy taking it personal. Maybe you met someone like that. You're talking, you're vibing, but you can feel her pulling back every few seconds like she's holding a door half open. She's trying to let the light in without letting the wind blow everything away again. That's trauma, man. Not drama. Trauma. That's what it looks like when someone's learned that the eyes can be traps too. That intimacy can be used against you. So now she protects her gaze the way a soldier guards his weapon. It's not mistrust. It's memory. But if you stay patient long enough, if you show her consistency instead of charm, one day those eyes will slow down. They'll stop running. They'll land on you and stay there. Not because you demanded it, but because she finally felt safe. That's when you'll see the difference between attraction and connection. Because attraction looks at your body, but connection looks through it. So when her eyes don't stay still, don't call her broken. Don't think she's playing games. Understand she's been burned before. And she's just making sure you're not holding a match. Because once she learns that you're not another fire, that you're the calm after the smoke, that's when her eyes will finally stop running from yours. And when that happens, you'll realize her gaze was never the problem. It was the proof she was healing. When you touch her hand and she doesn't flinch, when you look in her eyes and she doesn't blush, That's when you start to see it. She moves like she's been here before. Every gesture is smooth, every reaction calculated, every response rehearsed in the rhythm of repetition. It's not arrogance, it's experience. She's walked through this dance before. Same charm, same words, same promises dressed in different voices. She's learned how to hold herself steady while the world tries to pull her into its chaos. You might call it confidence, but if you look close, you'll see it's survival disguised as grace. When a woman has lived through too many false starts, she becomes fluent in patterns. She knows the script before you even open your mouth. You say, "You beautiful," and she smiles, not because she's moved, but because she's heard it too many times to believe it anymore. Her calmness isn't peace, it's armor. Her silence isn't shyness, it's wisdom. She's learned that emotions can become weapons in the wrong hands, so she keeps hers locked up until she knows you're not another thief. Every movement, every glance is a test, not for you to pass or fail, but for her to decide if it's safe to be soft again. You might think she's fearless, but deep down she's just tired. Tired of getting excited about something that doesn't last. Tired of giving her heart to men who only wanted her body. So now she doesn't chase butterflies. She watches the wind. She studies the tone behind the words, the silence between the texts, the small things that tell big truths. And when she catches you looking at her, she doesn't melt. She analyzes. Because once you've been hurt enough times, love stops feeling magical. It starts feeling mathematical. You start calculating how much you can give before it costs too much. It's like she's learned to play the game better than anyone else, but deep down, she doesn't even want to play anymore. She's just doing what she must to keep her dignity intact. So she moves smooth, talks calm, but her spirit's still bleeding somewhere inside. You see, she's mastered control because chaos used to own her. She's learned that being mysterious keeps her safe. She's learned that being too real scares people off. So now she walks that fine line between vulnerability and distance. You can feel it when you're around her. The energy's magnetic, but there's a wall behind it. She lets you touch her hand, but not her soul. She'll listen, laugh, maybe even let you in for a moment, but the second she feels that old ache creeping back, the fear of being used, the sting of being forgotten, she'll retreat. And she'll do it so gracefully that you'll question if she was ever really there at all. When a woman moves like that, she's not trying to play you. She's protecting the parts of herself that got bruised by promises that never turned into actions. She's learned how to move through love without falling too deep, because falling hurts when no one's there to catch you. That's why she carries herself with that unshakable composure, that subtle strength that both draws you in and warns you at the same time. It's like she's saying, I've been touched before, but I haven't been understood yet. And that's what hits hardest, the contradiction. She's soft but guarded, experienced but yearning, present but never fully there. She can make you feel wanted in a moment, then leave you questioning everything in the next, because she's been through too many highs and lows to believe in stability. She's learned to enjoy the moment without expecting tomorrow. That's why she never clings, she floats. That's why she never chases, she observes. But deep down, she still craves something real. She still dreams about the day someone sees past the smoothness, past the control, past the rhythm of repetition. Someone who doesn't mistake her calm for coldness or her strength for distance. Someone who can make her forget the script, make her lose track of time, make her feel again. Until then, she'll keep moving like she's been here before. Graceful, wise, and unbothered. Because that's what happens when the world teaches you not to fall. You learn how to walk like you've already survived the fall. You ever notice how she talks about love like it's a story that happened to someone else? Like she's been there, seen it, and left before the ending got written. That's because she has. She's learned how to describe passion without feeling it, how to talk about connection without believing in it. When she speaks about love, it's detached, not cold, just distant. Like she's protecting herself from catching fire again. Because once you've been burned enough, you start to admire the flame from a safe distance. You'll hear it in the way she talks about relationships, short, vague, smooth. She never tells you the full story. She doesn't have to. She's mastered the art of giving you just enough to make you curious, but not enough to make her vulnerable. When you ask about her past, she smiles and says, it's complicated. And that's the truth. Not because she's hiding shame, but because she's lived too much of it. Too many late night arguments, too many broken promises, whispered dark. She's learned that the more you tell people about your pain, the more they try to use it against you. So now she keeps her truth behind a quiet confidence, letting people assume what they want. She might talk like she's free-spirited, like she believes in living in the moment. But that's just another way of saying she doesn't trust forever anymore. Forever has lied to her before. It looked beautiful once, promised her peace, and left her empty. So now she moves in the present, stays light, never to attach. It's not that she doesn't care. It's that caring has cost her too much before. There's a certain tone that comes with experience. Soft, smooth, but lined with pain. You can hear it when she laughs. It's beautiful, but not innocent. It's laughter born from surviving heartbreak, from finding joy in small moments because the big ones always disappear too fast. And when you try to dig deeper, she changes the subject. She'll make a joke, deflect with a smile, or ask you something about yourself, not because she's uninterested, but because she's tired of remembering. See, people think silence means guilt or hiding, but sometimes silence means healing. When someone's lived through too many endings, they stop narrating their story out loud. They let the past rest quietly inside them. That's her silence. It's not empty. It's full of lessons. Full of nights she swore she wouldn't cry again. Full of mornings she woke up and decided to keep going, even when no one noticed. She's not emotionless. She's just selective. She's learned that vulnerability can be a weapon in the wrong hands. So now she keeps her heart behind a velvet rope. You can look, you can admire, but you can't touch unless she trusts you. And trust for her isn't built with words. It's built with consistency, with time, with actions that don't fade once the excitement does. Sometimes, late at night when the world is quiet and her guard finally drops, she probably misses being that girl who believed in forever, but that version of her doesn't exist anymore. She's grown, hardened, evolved. She's learned to speak less and feel more, because words don't mean much after you've heard them from too many people who never meant them. You can't read her like a book. You have to feel her like a poem. The rhythm's not always even, but it's real. She's not trying to be mysterious. She's just tired of being misunderstood. Every guarded pause, every calm smile, it's her way of saying, I've been through storms you couldn't survive, and I'm still standing. So when she talks about love like it's a memory, understand she's not bitter, she's wise. She's not heartless, she's careful. And if you ever get close enough to make her speak about it again, to make her voice shake with feeling, to make her believe that love can still be pure, you'll realize you're not just with a woman who's lived. You're with a woman who's learned how to rebuild her heart from ashes. She moves through the world like she's got it all under control, like nothing can touch her. But look closer, her actions tell a story, her words never will. There's a rhythm to her behavior that's not random, it's rehearsed. She knows how to turn on charm like a switch, how to hold attention, how to read what you want before you even know it yourself. That's not an accident. That's survival. It's the art of someone who's learned that attraction can be a weapon, and she's been on both sides of it. And you around her, she'll make you feel like the only man in the room, the way she laughs, the way she touches your arm, the way her eyes hold yours just long enough. It all feels real in the moment. And maybe it is. But it's not always about you. Sometimes it's about control. See, when a person's been wanted for the wrong reasons too many times, they learn to flip the script. Instead of being used, they start using the attention as power. It becomes a game of confidence, of dominance, of never being the one left waiting for a text that never comes. You know what to say to make you chase her, but she never chases back. She's mastered emotional distance. You'll notice it when you try to get closer. She keeps conversations light, surface level, playful. The moment you ask something deeper, she changes the subject, pulls back, distracts you with affection or humor. She's not doing it to manipulate you, not exactly. It's just that she's learned what happens when people get too close. They start to expect things she's not ready to give anymore. Commitment, vulnerability, truth. In her silence, in her calm, there's a storm of history. Maybe once she gave herself fully, heart, body, everything, and got nothing back but pain. Maybe once she trusted too easily, believing promises that were never meant to be kept. So now she keeps the upper hand. She'll be warm, passionate, even wild, but only to the point where she feels safe. Beyond that, she freezes up, goes quiet, disappears into her own world. You'll see it when she's out with people, how she thrives on being admired, but never lets anyone get too close. The attention feeds her confidence, but it doesn't feed her soul. Because deep down, she's hungry for something real, but she doesn't trust that it exists anymore. So she lives in the performance, the smiles, the flirting, the mystery. It's all armor, beautiful, shining armor built from heartbreak. She touches you, it's intentional. When she pulls away, it's calculated. Every move is designed to remind you that she's in control. But sometimes when she thinks no one's watching, her mask slips. You'll catch her in a quiet moment, lost in thought, maybe staring into space. That's when you see the truth, the loneliness hiding under the confidence, the longing behind the laughter. Because even though she's learned how to play the game, deep down she wishes she didn't have to. Her independence isn't fake, but it's a shield. She'll say she doesn't need anyone, but that's because needing people has always led to pain. She's not heartless. She's guarded. She's not manipulative. She's defensive. And that's the irony. The stronger she acts, the more fragile she really is inside. It's easy to mistake her behavior for arrogance or indifference, but what you're really seeing is protection. She's built walls so high that even she sometimes forgets what's behind them. And while her actions might confuse you, hot one day, cold the next, it's not inconsistency, it's fear. Fear of giving too much, fear of losing control, fear of being seen for who she really is. A woman still trying to heal from the ghosts of her past. So when her behavior seems unpredictable, don't rush to judge it. Understand it. Every action, every move, every pause. It's a scar that learned how to walk. She's not playing you. She's protecting herself. She's not distant because she doesn't care. She's distant because she once cared too much. And until someone comes along who can make her feel safe again, she'll keep dancing in that balance between connection and control, trying to remember what it felt like to trust without fear. There's a certain kind of silence that speaks louder than words, and you'll hear it in her when the topic turns to love or loyalty. You'll notice how quick she is to deflect, how she changes the subject, laughs it off, or shrugs like it doesn't matter. That silence, it's not emptiness, it's protection. It's the sound of someone who's lived through enough judgment to know that honesty can cost her more than it gives. When a woman has experienced too many shallow connections, she learns that the truth about her past isn't something the world handles gently. So instead of opening up, she builds walls, hides behind confidence, and tells you just enough to keep you interested, but not enough to make you judge her. You might think she's secretive, but what she really is, careful. See, once upon a time, she probably opened up, told someone her story, her mistakes, her moments of weakness, her regrets. And instead of compassion, she got labeled. She got whispered about. She got reduced to a story that didn't tell half of who she really was. So she learned to protect her peace by keeping her past in the dark. Not because she's ashamed of who she's been, but because she's tired of being misunderstood. When you ask her about her exes or her history, she'll give you vague answers. She might say it's complicated or that's the past, I don't live there anymore. And you'll feel like she's dodging the truth. But that's not always deception, it's survival. She's learned that the moment she reveals too much, people start to see her differently. They stop looking at her heart and start keeping score. You'll see it in how she reacts to honesty from others too. If you talk about your own past, she'll listen, nod, maybe even share a small detail about hers. But she'll never go deep. Not until she knows she's safe. Because vulnerability for her isn't casual. It's dangerous. It's a currency she spent before and got nothing back but scars. There's also a subtle tension in how she connects with people. She'll let you close enough to feel wanted, but not close enough to see her flaws. It's like she's living two lives. The one she shows and the one she hides. And in between those two versions is a woman who desperately wants to be seen for more than her past, but fears that once you see everything, you'll walk away. She's mastered the art of being mysterious. And it's not always intentional. It's the residue of having been judged too soon, misunderstood too often, and valued for the wrong reasons. The world taught her to equate openness with weakness. So now she carries her stories in silence, her emotions behind smiles, her pain behind power. But real ones can feel it though. You can sense the heaviness behind her confidence, the wall she keeps around her softness. You can see the way she hesitates before answering deep questions, like she's weighing if she can trust you with a truth that once got her burned. It's not that she's lying, it's that she's protecting her peace. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes she wants to tell you everything. Sometimes she lies awake replaying the things she wished she could say. The heartbreak, the betrayal, the lessons she had to learn alone, but by morning, the guard goes back up. The armor slides back on, and the silence returns. So if you ever meet a woman like that, don't mistake her quiet for guilt or her mystery for deceit. Understand that behind her guarded eyes is a story that can break your heart if she ever trusted you enough to tell it. The irony is, she's not trying to hide her truth because she's proud of it. She's hiding it because it cost her too much to survive it. And until someone shows her that her past doesn't define her worth, she'll keep that silence close like a shield, only letting her truth slip out in fragments when the world feels kind enough to listen. When she's been with a lot of people, you'll notice something strange in how she connects. It's like she's always half there, half somewhere else. She can touch you, hold you, kiss you, but you can feel it. She's not really present. Her body might be in the moment, but her soul standing guard somewhere far away. That's not because she doesn't feel anything. It's because she's felt too much. When someone has given too much of themselves too many times, they start learning how to disconnect. It becomes a reflex, a kind of emotional armor that keeps the heart safe while the body plays along. You'll see it in her eyes. They'll look at you, but sometimes they drift off like she's watching memories she'll never speak about. That's the residue of experiences that weren't handled with care. When you give pieces of yourself away without receiving love, respect, or understanding in return, it starts to numb something deep inside. After a while, passion turns mechanical. Affection becomes habit. And even though she still craves closeness, she doesn't trust it anymore. She's been touched but rarely felt. She's been desired but not truly seen. She's learned to keep her emotions out of physical moments because emotions once made her vulnerable. They made her believe in promises that never lasted, words that were never meant. So now she detaches, pretending she's fine with surface level connections because deeper ones hurt too much. And the saddest part, sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it. It's like her heart learned how to go quiet while her smile keeps talking. You might think she's cold or distant, but really, she's just trying not to fall apart. She's learned that if she lets her feelings in, they'll open the door to pain she's not ready to face again. So instead, she creates space, emotional distance, a safe zone where she can enjoy the connection without letting it consume her. It's a survival mechanism, not a lack of love. There's also a deep fatigue in her energy. She might look confident, sensual, even magnetic, but underneath that glow is exhaustion because giving yourself repeatedly without real intimacy drains you. It chips away at your ability to believe in something pure. It makes you question if love even exists beyond the physical. That's why she sometimes looks lost after intimacy, like she's searching for something she can't name. It's not guilt, it's emptiness. When you hold her, it feels like she's trying to remember how to feel safe. When you talk to her, she listens closely, but rarely shares back, as if she's afraid her truth will ruin the illusion. That's because she's learned that most people want her body, but not her story. So she hides the parts of her that ache for connection, tucking them away behind her strength. But every now and then you'll catch glimpses of the real her. The softness she doesn't show, the tenderness hiding beneath her armor. Maybe it's in the way she leans into your chest for a second longer than usual, or the way her voice trembles when she talks about dreams she gave up on. That's the side that still believes in love, even after everything. It's quiet, fragile, but it's there. She's not heartless, she's heart heavy. She's not cold, she's cautious. Every man she gave herself to left a piece of silence inside her, and now she's trying to learn how to speak again without fear. What she really wants is not another touch, it's peace. It's a connection that makes her feel whole again, not drained. She doesn't need saving, she needs understanding. So when she seems emotionally distant, don't just see the surface, look deeper. See the woman who's been through storms and still stands tall. The one who's been treated like a body but still carries the soul of a fighter. She's not broken, she's rebuilding. And maybe, just maybe, if someone loves her with patience instead of judgment, she'll finally believe that intimacy doesn't have to hurt. That being touched can mean being healed. There's a moment when you're around her when everything goes quiet and you realize she doesn't believe in forever anymore. You can feel it in how she talks about love, how she avoids big promises, how she laughs when people say soulmate. That's not bitterness. That's disappointment wearing a mask. When a woman has given too much of herself to people who only wanted temporary warmth, she stops believing in the idea of permanence. She starts expecting endings before beginnings even start. It's like she's always halfway out the door, not because she wants to leave, but because she's tired of being left behind. You'll notice she lives for the moment now. She'll tell you, let's just have fun, or why complicate things? She acts like she's carefree, but that freedom she talks about, it's built from pain. It's what happens when someone's tired of being broken by hope. She's learned to keep expectations low because the higher they rise, the harder the fall feels. So instead of waiting for love, she settles for attention. Instead of seeking connection, she takes comfort in distraction. She's been through so many cycles of promises and goodbyes that love doesn't sound like music to her anymore. It sounds like noise. It used to be the thing she dreamed of. Now it's something she guards herself against. She's seen how quickly affection can turn to absence. How easily someone's "I love you" can fade into silence. And that changes a person. It changes the way they trust, the way they dream, the way they open up. There's a certain emptiness that grows when your body's been desired, but your soul's been ignored. It makes you feel invisible, even when you're the center of attention. That's what she carries now, a kind of quiet fatigue, the weight of being wanted for everything except her truth. You'll hear it when she says things like, "I don't do relationships," or "love is overrated." Those aren't her real beliefs. They're her scars talking. That's her heart trying to protect itself from getting torn apart again. She's learned to move like she doesn't care, but deep down she craves something real more than ever. The problem is she doesn't trust it. If you try to love her, she'll test you. She'll pull away to see if you'll follow. She'll act cold to see if your warmth is real. It's not manipulation. It's defense. Because every time she's opened that door before, someone walked in pretending to stay, then left the moment she got comfortable. Sometimes when she's alone, she wonders if maybe love just isn't meant for her. If maybe she's used up all her chances. She'll think about the people who promised forever and vanish, the memories that once burned bright but now feel distant. And she'll tell herself she's okay, that she doesn't need anyone. But behind those words is a heart still whispering for something real. A connection that doesn't fade when the passion cools. Someone who sees her beyond the surface. What's tragic is she still carries love inside her. She just doesn't know where to put it anymore. So it leaks out in small moments in how she comforts a friend, how she helps a stranger, how she looks at the stars like they're keeping secrets for her. She's not emotionless, she's overflowing. But she's learned that giving love freely can cost her peace, so she keeps it locked away, hidden behind her strength. You can't fix her, you can't save her, but you can understand her. You can be gentle with the parts she hides, patient with the moments she pulls back, because what she really needs isn't perfection, it's consistency. She doesn't need grand gestures. She needs someone who stays when things get quiet, when she's not shining, when she's scared to love again. So when you see her act like she doesn't believe in love anymore, don't see it as coldness. See it as protection built from heartbreak. She's not hopeless. She's healing. And maybe, just maybe, when she finally meets someone who shows her that love doesn't always end in pain, she'll let herself believe again. But until then, she'll keep pretending she doesn't care. Because that's safer than admitting how much she still does. And when you step back and look at her story, you realize it's not about cynicism or coldness. It's about survival. Every guarded glance, every careful word, every layer of armor she wears is a testament to resilience. She's been wanted for the wrong reasons, desired without being valued, and still she stands tall. Still she moves through life with grace. That strength most people overlook because they only see the surface. Her past doesn't define her, it informs her. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every fleeting connection has taught her how to protect what matters most, her heart. She's learned to navigate a world that often mistakes intimacy for possession, passion for permanence. And while it might make her seem distant, detached, or mysterious, it's really a sign of someone who refuses to be broken again. If you're lucky enough to be in her presence, patience becomes your greatest tool. understanding, your ally, consistency, your way to earn her trust. Because behind the cool exterior is a woman capable of deep love, profound loyalty, and unwavering connection. But only to those who see beyond the surface, who respect her journey, and who never ask her to risk what she's fought so hard to protect. Her story teaches us all a lesson. Love isn't just about desire, it's about respect. It's about honoring the experiences that shaped someone, not trying to erase them. It's about seeing strength in vulnerability and courage in caution. And when you finally meet someone like her who lets you past the walls, who allows herself to trust again, you'll understand that what makes her guarded is also what makes her remarkable. So don't rush her. Don't judge her. Don't try to force open a door she's learned to keep closed. Instead, stand beside her, show up for her, and let her know that not every hand that reaches for her wants to take. Some just want to hold. And when she finally allows herself to love freely, it won't just be passion. It will be profound, lasting, and transformative. Because she's earned it. And anyone who understands that will never let her go.